Coming up next on Passion Struck, psychologists and neuroscientists worldwide have found that curiosity is not exclusive to children. In fact, it has been shown to be a catalyst for exploration and an essential factor for healthy development and learning. Cultivating curiosity can lead to numerous benefits, including psychological well being, resilience, subjective happiness, as well as a sense of purpose in life. Moreover, it's associated with a lower risk of depression and fewer negative emotions. Welcome to Passion Struck. Hi, I'm your host, John R. Miles, and on the show, we decipher the secrets, tips, and guidance of the world's most inspiring people and turn their wisdom into practical advice for you and those around you. Our mission is to help you unlock the power of intentionality so that you can become the best version of yourself. If you're new to the show, I offer advice and answer listener questions on Fridays. We have long-form interviews the rest of the week with guests ranging from astronauts to authors, CEOs, creators, innovators, scientists, military leaders, visionaries, and athletes. Now, let's go out there and become Passion Struck. I am really excited about today's episode, and I was really intrigued when I started to do the research on curiosity. And one of the things I really dived into was, what is the evolutionary reason for why we are so curious? And what I found is that humans are curious by nature. We possess an inborn urge to investigate and comprehend our environment, whether through pursuing literature, testing theories, or simply posing queries. Being curious helps us stay abreast of current developments, equipping us with the knowledge to converse more effectively, as well as fostering stronger relationships. Our curiosity is an essential part of our development. Without it, we would never grow or evolve. Our predecessors' urge to understand and modify the atmosphere that they lived in has been fundamental to the evolutionary process. Our ancestors needed this innate trait to survive and thrive in their surroundings. But why did we evolve with such an insatiable desire for knowledge? Let's dive into some of the reasons for our inherent curiosity. One of the most fundamental reasons that humans developed curiosity was simply the need for survival. Back when life was more precarious, being curious about one's surroundings meant staying alive. People had to know what would happen if they walked off a cliff or perhaps ate a poisonous plant. Learning from these experiences helped them avoid potentially fatal mistakes. Natural selection also plays a significant role in shaping our innate curiosity as well. More curious people tended to be better equipped at finding food sources, identifying potential threats, and discovering new lands that offered safety and resources. As a result, individuals with heightened curiosity levels were more likely to pass on their genes through reproduction. In addition to individual survival benefits, social advantages are tied to human curiosity. Curious people tend to form stronger bonds within their communities by sharing information and collaborating on problem-solving tasks, essential aspects of early human society that relied heavily on teamwork. Curiosity allowed for cultural transmission, enabling early humans to learn from one another, passing on valuable knowledge and skills through generations. Curiosity also enabled collaboration, because by working together and sharing information, curious individuals could solve problems more effectively than those who did not engage in cooperative behavior. In essence, our curiosity has been a driving force behind human evolution. Our desire to discover has enabled us to move beyond our comfort zones, adjust to unfamiliar situations, and form strong interpersonal connections that have significantly impacted the present-day world. So next time you ask why or seek out new experiences, remember that it's your innate curiosity at work. The evolutionary rationale for inquisitiveness plays an integral role in the progression of humanity, providing us with a chance to glean knowledge from experiences and investigate novel possibilities. Now let's further dive into how curiosity impacted human development. We possess a deep-seated inclination to seek out knowledge and investigate our environment, which enables us to develop and progress. But what is it that drives curiosity, and how does it affect human development? There are two different forms of curiosity: perceptual curiosity and epistemic curiosity. Our perceptual curiosity is driven by the need to understand our environment better. It's the kind of curiosity that leads us to ask questions such as, "What's that noise?" or "Why did they do that?" This curiosity spurs us to investigate and explore, allowing us to gain insight into our environment, build wisdom, and come up with novel concepts. Epistemic curiosity, on the other hand, is more internally motivated. It involves seeking knowledge for its own sake, rather than simply understanding how things work in the present moment. This type of curiosity can take individuals on an expedition of discovery and imagination as they try to understand their part in the cosmos or why something simply functions as it does. Another fascinating aspect of curiosity is its relationship with memory. Research has shown that our brains are more likely to retain information when we're curious about something. This happens because the human brain has been honed over time to modulate the hippocampus, a region in the brain responsible for forming new memories. Hippocampus dependent learning is dependent upon cues from both perceptual and epistemic curiosity, elucidating why humans are so eager to attain new information throughout life when there's no instant gratification. Research indicates that even babies demonstrate this type of behavior when confronted with novel objects or circumstances, indicating a strong correlation between cognitive growth and inquisitiveness right from the get-go. Curiousness, as we talked about before, greatly influenced human evolution, granting us insight into our environment and ourselves while promoting problem-solving aptitude, as well as invention. By tapping into this natural instinct, we can uncover more profound meaning and purpose behind everyday experiences. As Confucius said, life is really simple, but we insist on making it complicated. Curiosity is an essential component of human development, and it can be cultivated to help us reach our highest potential. Next, I will delve into the psychology and neuroscience behind curiosity to better comprehend the extent of its impact on our behavior, as well as the way that we interact with our surroundings. Philosopher and psychologist William James called curiosity the impulse towards better cognition, meaning that it is the desire to understand what you know that you do not. He noted that in children, it drives them towards objects of novel, sensational qualities, that which is bright, vivid, and startling. But how does this work on a neurological level? The first thing we're going to explore is dopamine, the fuel for our curious minds. Our brains are wired to reward us when we satisfy our curiosity. When a curiosity-driven activity leads to the acquisition of knowledge, dopamine is discharged into our bodies and creates positive sensations. When we explore new ideas or experiences and learn something new due to our curiosity-driven actions, dopamine gets released into our systems, making us feel good. I'm going to explore 2 reasons for why this dopamine effect happens. The first one is the information gap theory, which was created by psychologist George Lowenstein, where he suggests that curiosity arises when there's a gap between what we know and what we want to know. This creates an emotional itch that can only be scratched by seeking out more information. The second one is predictive coding theory. According to this theory, developed by neuroscientist Carl Feuerstein, the brain constantly tries to predict the future, looking at events based on past experiences, like trying to guess the end of a movie or song lyrics before they happen. So any deviation from this expected pattern triggers curiosity. Now let's explore the power of why. We often associate asking questions with children. You know, those curious creatures that never seem to run out of why questions? But as adults, we should embrace this tendency as well. The act of asking questions can facilitate a more profound understanding of complex matters, as well as inspiring innovative solutions. In fact, historical figures such as Albert Einstein and Leonardo da Vinci were renowned for their epistemic curiosity and incessant questioning. Understanding the psychology and neuroscience behind curiosity allows us to appreciate its importance in driving personal growth and success. Embracing our innate desire to explore novel experiences or ideas while remaining open-minded throughout life's journey will undoubtedly lead to greater personal and professional fulfillment. Unraveling the intricacies of curiosity's underlying psychology and neuroscience is a multifaceted pursuit, yet it may hold the key to us comprehending our own human actions. As we explore reasons why we are curious, it becomes apparent how this trait can be used for our personal success and growth. So now that we've gone through the psychology and neuroscience, of curiosity, let's go through and recap some of the reasons why we're curious. Curiosity is an essential part of the human experience, and it's no accident that we're wired this way. There are several reasons why humans are naturally curious, ranging from survival instincts, as I've talked about already, to the pursuit of pleasure. Let's discover how we are naturally curious and why these factors drive us. The first reason for our curiosity lies in evolutionary advantages. Our ancestors needed to be curious about their surroundings in order to survive. They had to seek out new food sources, identify potential threats, and seek out new territories to inhabit. This drive for exploration helped ensure the continuation of our species. Next, curiosity is needed for learning. We all know that knowledge is power, but did you ever stop to think about why? Curiosity compels us to discover and explore more about our environment, enabling us to make smarter choices and advance in life. In fact, studies have shown that people who are more curious tend to learn faster and retain information longer. Next, let's explore the connection between novelty and curiosity. New experiences stimulate our minds like nothing else can, which is precisely why humans crave so much novelty. When faced with something unfamiliar or unexpected, we feel compelled by a natural urge or even a sense of adventure to explore further. Whether it's trying exotic foods or traveling to off the beaten path destinations, this quest for new experiences keeps us engaged and motivated, pushing us to grow as individuals. Creativity also helps us to unlock our potential. By exploring unfamiliar concepts and activities, we expose ourselves to new understandings, viewpoints, and answers to questions. It's no wonder that some of the most successful entrepreneurs and innovators are known for their insatiable curiosity. We are curious because it helps us to learn, explore, and grow. By understanding why we're interested, we can use that knowledge to help foster success in our lives. Now, let's examine that very link between curiosity and success. How does being inquisitive lead us to more remarkable accomplishments? The link between curiosity and success is simple. Curiosity pushes people towards uncertainty and allows them to approach it with a positive attitude. Empathy, creativity, innovation, and the ability to learn quickly all spring from curiosity. Let's dive deeper into this innate human trait and how it can be harnessed for personal growth and achievement. In today's fast-paced world of constant change, having a curious mindset enables individuals to embrace uncertainty rather than fear it. This openness towards new experiences leads to better decision-making skills in both professional and personal aspects of life. For instance, consider the story of Steve Jobs' relentless pursuit of simplicity in design. His insatiable curiosity drove him to challenge conventional wisdom, which led to Apple's incredible success. So how do you foster creativity and innovation? Let's tackle creativity first. When we are curious about something or someone, our minds open up to possibilities that might not have been considered otherwise. We tap into our creative potential by exploring new ideas and experiences without judgment or fear of failure, just like children do. And when it comes to innovation, curious individuals continually question established norms. They're always looking for ways to improve or do things differently. This mindset is the driving force behind groundbreaking discoveries and innovations. Curiosity fuels our desire to learn, grow, and adapt. When we're curious about something, we naturally want to know more, leading us down a path of continuous learning. The capacity to quickly gain knowledge in our ever-evolving environments can greatly benefit those who are aiming to remain at the forefront of their field or life. Now, let's also quickly consider the role of curiosity in leadership. A leader with an insatiable curiosity will inspire their team and foster an environment where innovation thrives. They'll ask questions, challenging assumptions, and encourage others to do the same. By promoting a culture of curiosity within their organizations, leaders can drive success through better decision-making and increased employee engagement. In essence, embracing your innate human curiosity can lead you to a path of personal mastery, self-awareness, and even greater success in life. So go ahead and unleash your inner explorer. The link between curiosity and success is undeniable. With the right outlook, curiosity can be a potent force in helping us attain our objectives and living intentionally. By exploring the benefits of curiosity, we can further understand how this trait helps us achieve greater heights in both professional and personal endeavors. So let's now dive into those benefits of curiosity. The first thing to understand is that curiosity isn't just a fun, quirky human trait. It has profound benefits that can improve our lives in numerous different ways. First, it enhances learning and knowledge acquisition by making it easier for us to remember new information. When we're truly captivated by something, our minds become more open to assimilating and holding onto knowledge in a superior manner than when we feel listless or indifferent. Second, it boosts our problem-solving skills. A curious mind is always on the lookout for solutions, exploring different angles and perspectives until it finds an answer. This makes curious people better problem solvers, as they're more likely to think outside the box and come up with creative solutions others might miss. Third, it increases empathy and understanding. Becoming genuinely curious about other people's experiences allows us to develop empathy, understanding their thoughts, feelings, and motivations from their perspective rather than judging superficially based on assumptions or biases. Being inquisitive leads to deeper connections founded on trust and appreciation. Fourth, it fosters innovation. Curiosity fuels creativity by encouraging us to explore new ideas, experiment with different approaches, and take risks. This open-mindedness often leads to innovative breakthroughs in various fields, from art and literature to science and technology. So if you want to be a game changer or a trailblazer, which many of you want to do who are part of the Passion Struck community, it's so vital to nurture your curiosity. And fifth, it improves mental well-being. Studies have shown that more curious individuals tend to experience greater levels of contentment, less anxiety, and overall improved psychological well-being. In other words, stay curious, stay happy. Incorporating curiosity into our daily lives isn't just about asking questions or seeking new experiences. It's also about embracing the unknown with an open mind and cultivating a lifelong passion for learning. As we at Passion Struck advocate for intentional living, fueled by passion and purpose, nurturing your curiosity is undoubtedly one way of achieving personal mastery on this journey. So I wanted to give you another real-life example of applying curiosity. We already discussed Steve Jobs earlier, but another example is physicist and Nobel laureate Richard Feynman, who had an intense curiosity about the world around him. His curiosity led him to explore topics beyond his field, such as biology and anthropology, and that enabled him to think of new ways of embracing physics. This interdisciplinary approach allowed him to make significant contributions to the field of quantum mechanics and solidified his legacy as being one of the greatest physicists of the 20th century. Success stories like Richard Feynman's and Steve Jobs demonstrate how curious individuals explore uncharted territories, develop new ideas, and make groundbreaking discoveries. Without curiosity, these people may not have achieved, and I doubt they would have, their full potential, or left such a significant impact on their respective fields. So I've discussed a lot today, so let's wrap this up. Curiosity is a fundamental aspect of human nature that has helped us survive and thrive through evolution. It drives us to explore, learn, and understand the world around us. The human brain plays a crucial role in our curiosity. It constantly seeks out new experiences and information, and it rewards us with pleasure and satisfaction when we learn something new or experience something exciting. This is why curiosity is often described as a reward-driven behavior. I have explained through this podcast that humans are naturally curious, and why harnessing this power can lead to such incredible rewards. One needs to be aware of their curiosity, as it is so vital to our growth and development. Piquing our interest, we probe to gain insight into ourselves as well as the world around us, delving deep in search of answers. By cultivating a mindset of inquiry, we can use our human curiosity for problem solving while developing open-minded exploration. Ultimately, by embracing our innate inquisitiveness, we unlock the potential within each of us, allowing amplified imagination, aptitude for tackling complex issues, sympathy, and general contentment. So keep asking questions, explore new ideas, and seek new experiences. Your curiosity may just lead you to greatness. And if you go to the show notes, I will provide some actionable tips and exercises that you can use to explore your curiosity even more. You're about to hear a preview of the Passion Struck podcast I did with C. McDermott, a precision wellness practitioner who holds a doctorate of philosophy in integrative nutrition. C focuses on preventing disease and optimizing lifestyle through nutrition, behavioral change, mindset, and stress reduction. C is the author of the international best-selling book, Your DNA, Your Life.
Let's start a health revolution. Let's start a wellness revolution, because in my mind, average is a standard that includes chronic disease, which I don't think anybody wants that to be average. I don't think anybody's happy with that average. And I think anybody with a chronic disease, which is up to 65% of the population and a quarter of children, if you're in that situation, you certainly can't say that's a perfect place to be currently.
Remember, we rise by lifting others, so share this episode on creativity with those that you love and care about. In the meantime, do your best to apply what you hear on the show so that you can live what you listen. And until next time, live life passion struck.